All right. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Khalid Ahmed, and I welcome you to today's panel discussion on one of the most critical aspects of modern business infrastructure, cloud cost optimization. So, as organizations increasingly rely on cloud services to drive their operations, managing and optimizing cloud costs have become imperative for financial prudence, operational efficiency, and sustainable growth. So, in today's dynamic landscape where cloud computing offers unparalleled flexibility and scalability, it's crucial to strike a balance between leveraging these benefits and controlling the associated expenses. A panel of experts have gathered here today to delve into this pertinent topic, sharing insight, strategies, and the best practices to navigate the complexities of cloud cost optimization. So, as business rely on cloud services to drive innovations, enhance scalability, and foster agility, the effective management of cloud cost becomes imperative. It's not merely about reducing expenses, but strategically aligning cloud expenditures with business objectives, ensuring optimal resource utilization and maximizing ROI. So, without any further ado, let's embark on this enlightening journey with our panelists as we uncover the keys to effectively managing and optimizing cloud cost in today's dynamic landscape. First of all, we have Vikas Hazrati. He's a global CTO at Nasdaq. Hi, Vikas. How are you?
Hey Khaled, I'm good. I'm good.
Great. And can you please give us a little background about yourself?
Absolutely, yeah. Hello everybody who has joined us and to this ever important topic about cost. I'm Vikas. I was the CEO at Nordis. We got acquired by Nasdaq earlier this year, and now I am working as the global CTO at Nasdaq. I take care of our clients both here in North America as well as Asia Pac. Trying to drive the technology direction of the organization as well as helping our clients make sure that their businesses are succeeding with technology. That's quickly about me, Khalid. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas, and welcome you to the panel. Then we have Rahul Miglani. He's the head of cloud engineering at Nasdaq. Hi, Rahul. How are you?
Hi, Khalid. I'm doing great.
Thank you. Very well. A little background about yourself as well, please.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Rahul Miglani. I serve as the head of DevOps and Cloud here at Nasdaq. Well, in my role, I had the privilege of overseeing deployments, optimization of cloud costs, infrastructure across various platforms with focus on cloud, Kubernetes, and other cutting edge technology. Well, today I'm excited to share insight, experiences, and strategies that have propelled us towards achieving not only technical excellence, but also financial efficiency in our cloud operations. Looking forward, Khalid.
Excited to have you, Rahul. Thank you. Then lastly, we have Ash Vakaria. He's the application management solutions practice lead at Nasdaq. Hey, Ash, how are you? You're on mute, Ash.
Usual schoolboy error. So hi everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of you, and welcome to the panel.
Yes, a little background about yourself, Ash, please.
Yeah, so Ash Vikaria, as you said, practice lead for application management solutions at Nasdaq, also an engagement manager. A lot of experience in service design and service management as well, and those are really my sort of areas of interest, as well as obviously cloud and everything to do with cloud.
Great, great. And before we start, I would like to ask our audience to actively engage in this conversation. Just put your questions in the Q&A section and we'll pick it from there. All right, moving on. So, now what we love to do in the next 35, 40 minutes we have to explore a multitude of facets within the realm of cloud cost optimization. We'll touch upon the emerging trends, impact, and innovative strategies that organizations can adopt to strike the crucial balance between leveraging this cloud power and controlling expenditures. However, still the basic, yet most important questions remains the same. Why is cloud cost optimization important and how it impacts in current and long-term business goals? Because I would love to hear your thoughts on this first.
Yeah, Khalid, thank you. See, like cost in any case is important, right? Be it cloud or be it anything else. And given today's market dynamics, I think a lot of organizations, including a lot of clients that we work with, they are coming back to us and they have started talking about cost. Like how do we reduce our cloud expenditure? How do we actually make sure that we are making the best use of the cloud? So see, when we talk about cloud cost optimization, there are various factors that play into that. So cost is just going to be one part of it as to how do you get cost reduction. The easy answers are going to be, okay, eliminate waste, make sure that your resource allocation is right. You are paying for not overutilizing or underutilizing resources. like you need to do budget planning. But then there are so many other factors that go into the cloud optimization, which will lead to the cost optimization as well, which depend upon your particular needs. So for example, you as a business know what your application is. You know what your performance metrics are. You know what the scalability that you need to meet. So ultimately, you have to define the cloud strategy on the basis of that. What is the kind of resilience and reliability that you want? If you want resilience and reliability, you would have to put in fault tolerant, redundant architectures. Now, is that something that you are ready to do? And is that something which is going to add to your cloud cost? Absolutely, it is, but probably it is going to be essential for your business. Similarly, how do you increase your uptime? How do you make sure that your business is up for agility and innovation? Now, bringing in agility and innovation is through things like automated deployments, through streamlined processes, through leveraging cloud native services, making sure that you are making the best use of the cloud that you are on. So all of these factors again, impact the cloud cost optimization. Further, things like security and compliance, a very important need today, given that a lot of businesses, they are just online, they are on the internet. So how do you take care of access control, encryption, network security, monitoring, all of that? And last but not the least, so there was a big conference which was happening last week, I believe, COP28, in which not only organizations but countries as such, they were deciding how to get their sustainability goals achieved. So how do we make our business more green and more sustainable? So again, from that perspective, depending on the cloud providers that you are with, how do they help you in your sustainability goals, and how does that indirectly and directly affect the cost, is something that is going to become essential. And I'm sure, my panelists today, our panelists, they'll be talking more about how to achieve all of this. So there are going to be various things that can be put into place, from right sizing of infra and resources, to monitoring and alerts, to cloud services selection. How do you want your cloud strategy to be? Whether you want to be hybrid, you want to be on a particular cloud, you want to be on-prem plus cloud, you want to have a colo approach. So there are various options available over there. What is the architecture? How do you do your monitoring and optimization, and how do you keep educating yourself and your team around optimization? I think those are going to be the key characteristics as you go further into this discussion.
And you very rightly talked about a lot of interesting points here, like scalability, agility, innovation, security, sustainability. And these are all a must for a successful business, isn't it? So, and this leads to my next question for you, Ash, probably. How important is it for businesses to understand their cloud usage patterns to optimize clouds effectively? Again, on your mute, Ash.
Sorry, back again. The first thing we have to remember is cloud cost management isn't just about saving money. It's actually about optimizing cloud usage to achieve business objectives and make the business more efficient and bring greater business benefit overall. So the misconception is, decision makers often believe that moving to the cloud will actually save cost. Whilst, yes, this may be true in essence, it does come with some important caveats. And here's the message. Don't just move to the cloud. For those of you who haven't done it already, you need to define clear objectives before you move for adopting cloud technology in the first place. And once you've defined your objectives, I think you need to have a strategy. And the strategy, so you need to look at a number of areas that should be managed carefully as well. So it's not just to optimize cost. I think what you need to do is think about maximizing benefit as well, business benefit, and the efficiencies that come with it. So in addition to, say, typical cost benefits related to resource utilization and maybe forecasting, I'd like to mention certain business benefits. So let's take online retailers, for example. Online retail is actually highly dependent on user experience. So this is where businesses should closely observe user traffic and usage patterns, in addition to traditional things like performance, and adapting, your cloud usage to these patterns. And this could be, for example, using right sizing or auto scaling or serverless computing. This will not only increase your efficiencies, your cost efficiencies, but improve the quality and the delivery of service to your most important actor here, and that's the consumer. And I think we'll all agree, it goes without saying, user experience is actually paramount, and a happy customer will always return. So importantly, businesses can generate greater sales and grow once they start looking at cloud usage. And we know, if you have a strategy, every part of a business strategy includes growth and sales revenue. So that's one of the areas where has to be sort of important to organizations. I think the other thing is also important to remember here is the business savings that an organization can make in operational cloud costs. These can be reinvested rather than just treated as a saving. So once you reinvest this into things like the cloud technology you're already using, you can actually further improve the performance and the efficiencies of that cloud usage. And this again will in turn improve business efficiency and user experience. And that's irrespective really of any market that organizations actually operate in. An additional thing I'd like to say is, optimization. We talk about cloud cost and savings and reduction. It's not actually only applicable to large organizations with big budgets where it can make a difference. I think we have to be very mindful of smaller organizations where it's even more critical to control cloud spend, where it could actually make the difference between survival of the business or not, as the case may be. And a small example I can give you is a client of ours here at Nashtec, where we reduced their cloud costs by about 40%. And this saving now is actually being redirected to improving their application to make it better, enhancing features, but also they're using that fund to market the application now into more international geographies as well. So they're actually selling the product, and that allows them to grow. So it's again important to realize, why we want to monitor usage patterns, but it's not just about saving money.
100%. And thank you for sharing the use cases, Ash. Like you said, cloud cost management isn't just about saving money. It is about optimizing usage properly as per your business objectives. But I mean, in today's scenario, if a business is not using automation efficiently, they are just left behind. So Rahul, I mean, if I may ask, what role does automation plays in cloud cost optimization and management? And how can organizations integrate cost considerations into their DevOps practices?
Absolutely, Khalid. Actually, automation plays a very important role in effective management of costs, enabling organizations to optimize their expenses and also integrate financial consideration seamlessly into their code itself. Right. So here are a few best practices of automation which help us, highlight the importance of automation. First would be proactive cost management. Well, automation empowers organizations to implement proactive cost management strategies by automatic identification of cost, efficiencies, but also inefficiencies, right? We can automate, highlighting unused resources. So that is inventory management automation, right? And also real-time visibility into what is my cloud spend, how much alerts we are getting, and what actions are we going to take on those alerts. Second most important point here in automation is resource scaling and right sizing. As Ash touched upon, for example, a retail giant. Well, how a retail giant is able to provide a very good user experience by resource scaling, descaling, and right sizing. So we also had a client here in North America where we were able to reduce their cloud case by 32% by right sizing and by forecasting cost of the users which would come on, let us say, a festive season or a Black Friday, right? So this ensures that organization can automatically adjust their compute resources, their storage, and other services which match their workload requirements and which obviously would change all over year, right? So this automation also provides right sizing, aligning resources with actual need of the application and actual need of the infrastructure is met, right? Third would be policy enforcement. Well, we have all heard policy as a code. RBACs and PBACs works when automation is done within their pipelines. So we could have a sense of governance. We could put governance rules in our pipelines, and we can have tagging and resource life cycles management and inventory management, so that the infrastructure adheres to predefined cost guidelines. And if it shoots to a particular threshold, automatically get cut off, right? Well, fourth point I would like to list is cloud assessments and audit calculators. What we do here at Nasdaq is we provided our clients with the DevOps audit, cloud audits, and cloud assessments. So what we do every quarter is we integrate their automated workflows, and cloud assessments is a part of that workflow. And what audit calculator does is it forecasts and provides valuable insights into cloud cost spending patterns, and then we can take actions, right? So cloud assessment and audit calculator have become a part and parcel of our daily life within DevOps and cloud infrastructures. So these audits not only tell us efficiencies of our infrastructure, but also the inefficiencies which a big infrastructure might have. And these regular assessments are conducted automatically. We do not have a person doing audits and cloud assessment, but this is automated, right? So this is the value automation brings in. And last is how we integrate it to DevOps practices. Well, embedding cost consideration, as I said, policy as a code into DevOps is crucial, because we are not only forecasting, but we are taking actions on our forecasts as well. So automation cost checks can be, let's say, integrated into our continuous CI and CD pipelines, which ensure that the cost changes, cost forecasts are actioned upon. We might have millions of alerts, right? But automation plays a very important role in taking actions on those alerts, right? So in summary, these 5 points, Khalid, I think are very important. And through automated tools and workflows, organizations have already achieved a lot of cost efficiency, and we look forward to achieve cost efficiency in big infrastructure as well.
100%, Rahul. And thank you for sharing that. And I mean, before just we move on, probably I would again like to remind the audience, just feel free to ask any cloud related questions to the panelists, and probably we'll try and answer as much as questions possible. Thank you. Okay, so moving on. We all know, I mean, Gen AI is taking over the world now. And because I would love to point these questions towards you, do you think generative AI can play a role in transforming the ROI of the cloud?
I think indirectly, yes. However, I would say that, we need to understand that there is a difference between AI and Gen AI. Yes, Gen AI is the flavor of the day, and everybody is talking about that. But the Gen AI is actually a specific subset of AI, which is focused on generating content or data, which is similar to the examples that we are feeding in, or whatever learning it has done. So it primarily, does three kind of things. So of course, you heard about the chatbot scenario that yes, Gen AI can help you respond back. So that is going to be one scenario. Then it is description generation, and then it is summarization, search and summarization. So these are the three major categories. Now, can it indirectly help? Absolutely. However, I would like to say that more than Gen AI, let us talk about AI, and building on what Rahul said with regards to automation. See, AI or artificial intelligence by itself is a broad term that refers to the development of intelligent systems. So what we are trying to do is that we are trying to build intelligent agents that can act, think, behave like humans. So that is the ultimate goal. So till the time we get there, something that so that's a bigger goal, it'll take time. But what can be done in the meanwhile is that how do we make machines behave like humans, not think like humans, but how do we make machines rather, act like humans? And for that, a lot of work needs to be done, built on the automation that Rahul was talking about, into getting a lot of data, getting a lot of structured data, so that that can be fed into machine learning models, so that your machines can start acting like humans. That, okay, if this happens, this is what I need to do. So on the basis of that data that is collected, the machines would be able to do intelligent resource and workload allocation. So as you as a business, what is the kind of workload, what is the kind of scalability and SLA needs that your business has. Knowing that, and given that the machine would be able to learn historically from the machine learning models that these are the workload characteristics, this is how the performance was, these are the SLA requirements, it'll be able to intelligently allocate or provision resources as per the need. So this will take care of what again Rahul and Ash were mentioning about, your Black Friday events, your Thanksgiving events, your Christmas events, so on and so forth, because the machine takes care of that. It will also take care of your right sizing, because you are going to be feeding in the models saying that, this is the cost that we can go up to, this is the SLA that we need. On the basis of that, what is my right sized resource structure going to look like? And on the basis of that, it'll be able to give you that right size structure. Then it'll also be able to do, a predictive analysis and forecasting on the basis of the historical load trends. But again, if you notice, a lot of this is coming from whatever the machine is learning from the data which we are feeding it. Similarly, anomaly detection and remediation. Like if the machine needs to know that, okay, like such and such scenario happened last time we solved it like this, then this is how it can be solved again. So again, a lot of machine learning, subset of AI, but like in a broader perspective, a lot of machine learning. Then we can go into details like scenario modeling, how do we keep our costs low by going to multi-cloud strategy, where should the workload be like transferred in order to get the biggest bang for the buck, so on and so forth. And then it can help in security analysis as well. So I would say that all said and done, like machine learning is going to be a key. I know it's not the most fanciest term right now. Fancy term is Gen AI, but everything else is going to be building on top of that. So that is what I would mention.
I mean, interesting points and theories, Vikas. I mean, Ash, what are your thoughts on this?
I think clearly Gen AI is obviously poised to be a disruptor in the marketplace and increasingly being recognized for its potential to transform return on investment. I mean, looking at some surveys, industry reports at the moment, they suggest that Gen AI can actually add around 75 to 110% incremental ROI to cloud programs. So it's something that can't be ignored at the moment. And there are a number of ways or areas I think we see that would benefit from Gen AI at the moment. And one of them is simple and probably very close to our market, and that's developing applications for our clients. So the time to market is really important for businesses. The quicker you get there, the quicker you actually can control the market. So by automating and optimizing various processes, Gen AI can help and enhance the efficiency and productivity of application development teams and infrastructure teams as well. So another area I think is probably not often thought of here is the generation of new business streams. So Gen AI can potentially help to suggest new opportunities for businesses and applications potentially that were not possible. So, these are some of the things that it really should be sort of thought of and considered. I think one must also consider the environmental impact here. As Vikas mentioned, that there's a big goal globally towards sustainability. Gen AI can actually contribute to green computing and optimize resource usage and reduce waste. So, energy efficiency is actually enhanced, and this will align with environmental and sustainability goals of every organization today. So, in the long term, it will actually help save cost. But a very important point here again is to remember though, Gen AI requires big computing, storage, and networking resources. So cloud implementations must inherently be, scalable and using in enterprise platforms as well, rather than smaller isolated instances. And herein lies maybe an interesting sort of dilemma. Gen AI gives you all the benefits, but can actually cost a lot of money as well. So you have to think about optimizing your Gen AI cloud infrastructure costs as well in the first place. I mean, so there are some interesting facets to Gen AI. Just coming back to some of your comments, Vikas, though, I mean, your explanation is very useful and interesting, but would you then say that, supporting, say, predictive analytics and observability is not an area that would benefit from Gen AI, considering, it would be beneficial where Gen AI is actually creating new content to actually help things like analytics and observability?
Yeah, so I'm not saying that Gen AI is not going to be useful there, Ash. I think what I'm trying to say is that Gen AI is going to be a consumer of a lot of information that needs to be fed in on the basis of the machine learning models that need to be put in place first for Gen AI to start working on that and adding value. So where I'm trying to go is that, see, from a predictive analytics and forecasting perspective, the machine needs to learn a lot in terms of what was my load earlier, what did it spike up to, where did I actually face a disruption which caused an anomaly. So all of these things need to be learned into, and this data is something that Gen AI can be then trained on, and then it will start saying that, oh yeah, you are planning for Christmas of 2023. This is what you should do. So, like when I ask a question, it should be able to tell me that. So where I'm trying to go is that GenAI is going to be helpful, but it is not a silver bullet. It is not going to be helpful without all the preceding infrastructure in place, which allows it to be helpful. So I think right now, what I see a lot of organizations talk about is that, hey, let's put in GenAI and everything is going to work. No, that's not going to happen. First, you need to clean up your data. First, you need to understand, like the machines need to understand, like what your data is. They need to do their analysis on top of that, so that they can start, like suggesting models. On the basis of those models, yes, the GenAI can learn better. But GenAI by itself, so consider it to be an easy interface. So if I am a secure, a support professional, and I need to know that, okay, how do I fix this problem? I can just like go to GenAI and get it fixed. But for it to give me the right answer, it needs a lot of backing information. Granted, a lot of that will be like already be present through the web, but then it is your workload, your organization, so your particular data will have to be augmented onto that, so that it can start giving the answers and responses that can be beneficial. So again, I'm not saying that it is not going to help, but for it to help, we need to help it first. That's where I'm going.
I think Vikas, some amazing points here, but for the benefit of our audience, I would like to add that let's not consider Gen AI to be just to be a chatbot. And you and Ash touched some really amazing points. How to make sense of Gen AI so that we have a balance on how much we are spending on Gen AI and what is our ROI. So let me try to put this Gen AI. How do we wrap Gen AI around already existing systems? So point number one, observability announcement. So we already have existing tools, for example, Azure Monitor or AWS CloudWatch. We already have a lot of analytical data. But with the collaboration of, let's say, Gen AI, these tool allows us to discern patterns, anomalies, and maybe potential performance optimization. If Gen AI can collaborate with these tools, they can tell us what we need to do in next quarter or in next year if we have to maintain a certain infrastructure, right? Uh, as earlier, we talked about policy enhancement, right? So my second point here would be security reinforcement. We already know that we have tools like Azure Security Center and AWS Security Hub. Now we already have behavioral patterns, but with the wrapping of Gen AI can tell us what are the normal behavior patterns and what are the quarter patterns and what are our yearly patterns. And then we can secure our incidents and take actions and put that action in our pipelines so that nobody is waking up in the middle of the night because AWS Security Hub told me that there's an anomaly, right? Third here would be cost optimization through predictive analysis. So we already know there are lots many tools which are doing cost management. There are cloud providers who are providing tools like Azure Cost Management or AWS Cost Explorer. But if I can collaborate Gen AI predictive analysis capability with these already existing tools, I can have historical data acted upon by Gen AI because it will then identify my cost overrun, what are the potential times, what are the potential demands which makes our cost overrun, right? So again, it is the right sizing of infrastructure by generative AI and by taking action. So we have to create a balance, right? And fourth, most importantly, automation of incident response. Earlier, we talked about millions of alerts. We have tools like Azure Sentinel, AWS Security Hub. I have millions of alerts. But what I want to achieve in future is generative AI's role in automating incident responses. I cannot have my user experience go bad just because I was doing manual responses to some, let us say, negligible security incidents, right?
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
that
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like and this ties up to what Ash was saying and what you were saying, Rahul, that ultimately it is going to free up time. It is going to give more power in the hands of support engineers as well, and things can be moving faster. So yeah, I think that is definitely where we can put Gen AI as a wrapper so that like it provides that easy interface.
I mean, the topic Gen AI, I mean, it doesn't get old, does it? All right.
Well, it's a new topic in any way. So.
I don't see this getting old in near future as well.
No, it is not. Yeah, you're right.
All right. So, I mean, we already talked about, current aspects of cloud cost optimization. But I mean, my next question would be for you again, Rahul. what emerging technologies or trends do you foresee impacting cloud cost optimization in the coming future?
Oh, well, that's an excellent point, Khalid. Emerging trends. Ash already touched upon some quantum computing, which is there for bigger organization, and we have, let us say, we have to have integration of blockchain technologies. But again, as Ash touched upon, we have to create a balance because for smaller organizations, computing cost or cloud cost is more important when it comes to jumping onto emerging trends. We might have quantum computing, we might have blockchain technology, which aims to enhance the transparency and trustworthiness, but whether it makes sense. Another important point I would like to make is uh, ML driven cost analysis. Yes, Vikas touched upon it that we might have ML driven cost analytics, but whether serverless computing models and what is the anticipation from that models, whether we are going to enhance our infrastructure with exact precise billing forecast and potential savings, but again create a balance between how you are going to spend on these emerging trends and how much ROI you are going to get. Third most important trend which I see coming into very near future is AI driven continuous algorithms without human intervention, zero touch pipelines with edge computing. I think this works towards what we are already in phase where we are introducing decentralized cloud architectures, right? And to achieve decentralized cloud architecture, we will have a time where we are only working on AI driven and edge computing zero touch infrastructures. So robust cost governance will be in place because these frameworks allows us, right, with this effective control over cloud spending, right? Having all these trends in place, what another trend which I foresee very important and lastly is self-healing mechanism. If I put whatever we have talked about, role-based infrastructure control, policy as a code, right? If we have to put it into our pipeline, that is the building stone of self-healing mechanism. With cloud cost management, it emerges that we cannot have another spend on another thing which is saving cost and we are increasing cost. So again, ROI, self-healing mechanism, policy as a code, quantum computing, serverless computing, edge computing, AI, ML driven, and this is which I see in our future. Well, these trends collectively will signify our future. So Ash, my question goes to you. How do you foresee organizations effectively integrating, because you have to create a balance, right? So ML driven, AI driven analytics into your existing cloud infrastructure.
You do. I think we talked about machine learning well here, okay, but I'll be honest. To be honest, I don't think machine learning is going to be the be all and end all here. And I do think that cloud optimization will always require some human insight or oversight as well. For example, I don't think machines will be able to understand the finite areas of businesses and how businesses work, and the decisions that humans often make towards businesses as well. So, specific requirements of applications that will still involve humans. So I think there is, whilst the support there for technology, I think humans will still need to play a part. Nonetheless, and I come back to observability and again, a favorite sort of topic of mine, which is service management. I do see AI or machine learning technology being used to self-heal applications. So, I'm leading the application management solutions practice. So my concern is to, look at self-healing applications if we can, and associate that with service delivery. So if you can keep an application up 100% of the time, then your customers will always be on the application, be able to use it, no complaints, right? So that increases customer experience and again, performant user experience. So it's important to take that into consideration. Another area I would say in terms of using cloud or ML is the automated selection of actually pricing models now. So there's a plethora of options that cloud providers give us at the moment. We talk about AWS, Azure, GCP. There's so many different options and cost models out there available to clients and users. I would love to see machine learning and AI be able to actually take data, usage data, and then know all the options that are available from the vendors, and actually automatically select pricing models on a rapid basis, so that humans don't have to worry about it, and then you optimize your costs and usage by doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm also mindful of the timings here. So I mean, let's jump to the Q&A section now. All right. So I mean, we have already received a couple of questions beforehand, but I mean, feel free to ask any if you have some more. I'll add a couple of questions because it looks like they're asking the same thing. So the first question goes like this: how should businesses prepare to adapt to these upcoming trends for better cost management? I mean, Vikas and Ash, you'll be talking about all these management. So why don't you take turns and talk about this?
Okay. So I can take that first, Vikas, if you want. So I think the first first step really is for organizations to have a robust governance model. You know, without knowing what to do and how to do it, you lose control. And this really should go hand in hand with a clear strategy about what the organization wants to achieve by using cloud, and the path to achieving it. One, I think my recommendation is to be agile, take into consideration, you know, the ever increasing and improving cloud capabilities at the moment. All organizations need to be agile in how they reach that goal, basically. So yes, you will reach the goal, but you need to be agile in what you use and how you do it and the way you do it as well. So that then leads on to sort of granular visibility, which is I think very key. So, you know, if there's one thing that senior stakeholders always want to see, it's visibility. And to do this, you need appropriate governance models and tools in place to achieve that. So stakeholders are an important animal here, I would say. You know, they're also not immune from education. Right. So organizations need to ensure that they actually educate all their key stakeholders, just to make sure that they are aware of the importance and also understand cloud cost optimization principles and practices. Without that, they won't be able to make the right decisions. Vikas?
Yeah, I would just add on to that. I would just say that, you know, like all the behaviors, Ash, that you recommended, so yeah, you know, like all those behaviors are important, but the way you know, like we have seen this getting done better, or you know, like the approach that we take is that when we work with organizations, we work along with them as a part of our fusion exercise, and we define cost optimization goals. So that is a North Star that we go with. Once you have that North Star defined, that, you know, like this is the cloud cost optimization goal that you have as an organization. So for example, if I'm spending, you know, like $100 on AWS today or Azure, and I want to say that, okay, you know, like this needs to come down to 75. I think that is a North Star that we go with. A lot of behaviors that start getting driven from that North Star downwards. That, okay, you know, like in order for us to achieve that, absolutely, Ash, as you said, you know, like this stakeholders, the senior management, the team, they need to be educated, they need to keep informed. That leads to behaviors like assessing the current cloud usage, you know, like what are the potential for optimization, which are the instances which are underutilized, so on and so forth. That leads to, you know, like setting up the cloud cost optimization team, that, okay, this is the team that we are going to put into place that will take care of all of this. That leads to the tools, and that leads to, you know, like fostering that culture of cloud awareness. But I think what the businesses need to do, Khalid, from my perspective, is that set that goal. You know, like because if you're looking at a moving target that, yeah, everybody else is doing that, so let us do that, and you do not have timelines or a set goal, believe me, nothing is going to happen. So, you know, like I know a lot of us who have worked together, you know, that you know, like I'm of the full opinion that let's decide on a North Star, and then everything, you know, like goes towards that. So I would say that is the first thing that businesses should do. If you are really getting pained by the fact that you are overspending on your cloud, set a goal to come down to, and rest of the behaviors would fall into place.
Absolutely. And thank you, Ash and Vikas. Next question is for you, Rahul. What tools or approaches do you recommend for monitoring and analyzing cloud spending?
Oh, well, that is a very important question. Thank you for that, whosoever asked it. So, monitoring and analyzing cloud spend is important if we are going to achieve our goal. As Ash talked about, management needs a dashboard. They want to need the need to see where we are headed. So let's try to categorize into these tools and strategies into types of tools we have right now. So one would be cloud service provider native tools. For example, we have AWS Cost Explorer, we have Azure Cost Management and Billing. Now, when we go to these dashboard, you'll see their cost, their usage, to matrices. You have graphs. You can manage and understand where your cost is going and what resources utilizing what type of cost with what type of frequency. So that these are cloud service provider tools. But if you want to have some third-party cost management dashboarding like budgeting, forecasting, and right sizing, for that you have something called as Cloud Health. Now, let us say, as we talked about security and compliance with respect to multiple hybrid cloud platform and infrastructure, you can have a tool called Cloud Checker. And we also touched upon policy as a code. So if you want to have automated policy enforcement and cost controls, you can have something called as a Turbo. Now, apart from these tools, you can also have your infrastructure as a code tool. For example, you can write as your function which can trigger a Terraform module. If you jump to from a particular threshold in a particular subscription, it can stop the pipeline there itself. So that is the power of infrastructure as a code tool, be it Terraform or Ansible, right? Or maybe a simple Python script, right? Fourth and last, I would like to talk about CSP tools like budgets or Azure budgets. These define your thresholds. You can select and check your expected expenses and then write off whether you want to have a particular threshold set up or not. So if you see, there are already so many tools in the market, but these are the basic tools we can start with and then build on these tools, which depends on our strategies and what we want to do in next 9 to 12 months.
Thank you, Rahul. And I know we are almost on time, and I'm sure we could have gone for a few more hours. But I mean, given where we are, I'll take just a couple of minutes quickly to summarize what we talked about. So I mean, there were a couple of big takeaways for the conversation that I could seize. And we discussed about emerging trends, best practices, challenges associated with maintaining efficiency in cloud expenditures. But I mean, one key theme that emerged from the discussion was increasingly role of automation, mainly through machine learning driven cost analysis. So we discussed the significance of leveraging advanced analytics to get deeper insights into spending patterns, enabling proactive decision makings to optimize resource allocations. Then we also talked about cloud cost management. I mean, it is just not about saving money, right? It is about optimizing cloud usage to best efficiently possible. And this is not just applicable for large enterprises, but even for SMBs as well. We also talked about AI or Gen AI driven optimization, where organizations can ensure optimal resource utilization and cost efficiency by dynamically adjusting resource configuration based on real time performance metrics. Another point was around sustainable cost practices and their impact on long term cost optimization, where we explored how environmental conscious choices such as selecting energy efficient data centers that aligns with both CSR and potential cost savings. And lastly, the evolving landscape of cloud cost optimization, right? The integration of cutting edge technologies, strategic decision makings, and a proactive approach to resource management are deemed key components in achieving optimal cost efficiency in your cloud environment, right? So, I mean, well, thank you, Vikas, Rahul, and Ash for all your insights and interesting stories. And I'd also like to thank the audience for being such an interactive and patient audience. Thank you for your time and patience, guys.
I just
Have a
like
nice
to mention one last point there, Khalid, since we are closing
Vikas.
here. So see, cloud cost optimization or cloud optimization, this is not something that just the IT team does in isolation or just the technology team does in isolation. So since this is something that we need the businesses to work with, so there has to be a close collaboration between finance, operations, IT, and the mandate has to come from, like senior stakeholders that this is what we want to do. I think then it'll get done. I just wanted to add that as, like amongst one
important
of the
point, absolutely.
I mean, 100%. And like I said, I mean, we can go for a few more hours just talking about cloud cost optimization. Yeah.
Shall we?
All right then. I don't think so. Everyone has the time for that. So that should be a wrap. And like I said, guys, I mean, thank you for your patience and time, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.